Hi everyone, my name is Simon and I'm a brand strategist here in Montreal, Canada. And today I want to share with you the part 2 of this series on how I made $500,000 in just 3 years doing consulting. In the first video, I talked about the 3 basic principles that I've applied to make that much money in 3 years. And those were the law of category as the second one. You had breaking the time barrier, which is selling value over time. And you have building a product recurring model. Like by product, it meant like you build something that's sellable over a period of time or that's renewable over a period of time. And today I want to share with you the details on what I did concretely to make that money. It is not going to be sexy, it's not easy, it's super rough when you start, but I think it's super important to be down to earth with this and to give you tips that I wish I knew when I started to just accelerate my progress. And this is a step-by-step process of what I would tell a younger me 3 years ago to do in order to just make sure you get more and more revenue and you learn as fast as possible. So the first piece of advice I would give you is to start thinking about cold calling. And what does that mean? It's cold outreach to people. And what I found is there's some law of the average in there. You do 10 cold calls, it could be emails, it could be picking up the phone. The phone is more efficient. And out of those 10 emails that I would do, 10 emails or calls, I would get one person that answers and is interested to have a meeting with me. Out of 4 meetings, I would have a client. So it was as simple as that. That's what the formula was. 10 calls, 4 meetings, and 1 closed the deal after that. The second tip is to be building your brand around a super specific niche. Like what I chose to do is I wanted to help solopreneurs build their personal brand online. It took a different turn of events because sometimes I had businesses and I would still do the program with them, but like the focus was to build a personal brand in the business. So I was kind of renowned to be the guy that would help you build your personal brand online. Okay, so the third advice I would give you is to give away your product or your service for free. Why free at first? Because it will help you immensely to get some feedback on the product itself. The fourth tip that I would give myself is start before you are ready. That sounds so cliche, but I think it's very important because if you are behind your desk and you're on your computer and you're thinking about, okay, I could make that better, I could make that better, you'll never start. You just need to go out there, sell the product, the program to someone, the service, and be like, okay, did this help you? Could I have done something better? And be receptive with feedback. It's gonna be super helpful in the beginning. When you just finish working with someone, get into the habit of asking them for referrals. I always tell my clients to do that because I think it's super important to be aggressive on the referrals because it's what's gonna fuel you to keep going. If somebody's like, oh yeah, I love your services, I'm gonna tell everyone I know about it. And you'd be like, okay, so who do you know that I can call and I can say you like the services? Be proactive with it. I think it's way underrated to ask for referrals, but I still do it today. Once you get a bit of traction and you have done those few first steps, so you did the work for free, you asked for referrals, you did some cold calling, you now start to understand like where most of your income is coming from. And at that point, you have like your main actions that you're going to do to build your business, and on the other side you can start thinking about leveraging your own knowledge, your own brand online. I think online community building or audience building is underrated because it's not instant gratifications. You will not get leads just from putting a video out there on YouTube. But eventually, after getting better at it, after teaching something to someone or entertaining someone online, you'll definitely get some validation for an audience that might want to be paying for something you're gonna sell them or teach them. That's when I would start to build my community or an audience online. When you have some cash in the bank, you're not stressed about money, you have a process to make clients, to find clients actually and help them. And then I would start to document the journey. So what have you done this week? What's happening in your world? What's the most frequently asked question you got? Start picking up your phone and start sharing on Instagram stories, start a blog, start tweeting, a podcast, anything you feel like you could start doing right now. And don't think that you're gonna get results as soon as you start publishing, but like think of it as if you're building your future network of people that you're gonna work with. Eventually, with all the proof of work that you're gonna have, you're gonna be able to be like, hey, look, I did this, I did that, I made that, I helped those people, I work with those people. And that's when you just keep fueling the momentum of growing your business, your consulting business. And the last tip I would give you, it's super simple. It's to know when to raise your price. I wish I had known like from retrospect what I know today, that like there's an art to raising prices. You don't raise your price when you feel like you should raise them. I think, well, you can do whatever you want, by the way, but that's what I've learned is that I wish I had raised my price when I was overbooked. Incrementally raise the price at every client instead of doing little, like, huge gaps. So let's say you went from $500 a month to $2,000 a month. That's too much. You're gonna lose your immediate client, the one you're building with your cold calls, your referrals, and the community around you. I think you need to be increasing your price with the value of your offering. That's always the key that I found, at least. That's the key to have a sustainable business growth. The more value you add, you fix your processes, you increase your price. You add value, you increase your price. And then you'll be redefining your clientele too, because it's not true. I think it's not true that like the clients that paid you at like your very beginning will be the same clients that's gonna pay you in 5 years. I think you're gonna find different niche, and it's gonna evolve, and that's normal. That's nothing to be scared of, but just be aware of that. Like that raising your price is something you should probably do on like a quarterly basis, a 6 months basis, or yearly basis. You decide, but just be aware of that. I hope today's video was useful to you. Those are the tips in this particular order that I would tell myself I was to start again. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. This was a 2-part series. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, just let me know. I'd be curious to know if that's something you're into. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back to just one idea per video. All right, I'm out. Have a good day.